Hey guys, it's Micah, and today I want to talk about anxiety and depression and kind of how I got over it mostly. So, depression for me started when I was around 19, and anxiety, I pretty much had that. I don't want to say all my life. I was anxious for a good portion of my life, but I wouldn't say I had anxiety the whole time. So I believe for me, it really started getting bad after depression showed up. There were so many situations that aided to it. I mean, that's a story for another time. We'll be here all day long if we got into that. But what was more important to me was being better, getting better. I listen to a lot of people talk about anxiety and depression, and they usually don't talk about getting better as much as they do about getting the best medication for it. So I just wasn't a person that wanted to rely on medication. That just wasn't for me. I'm not saying that's not for anybody else. That wasn't for Micah. Back then when my depression started, I used to talk to people online because it was a new feeling. Nobody in my house understood it. No one, there were so many situations that happened that at the time of trying to get help, people thought I was looking for attention. And it's like, I'm not looking for attention. I am having some really disgusting thoughts about myself, about my life, and how, like, almost having no feeling. Like, I was almost heartless sometimes. Like, stuff just, I wasn't moved by anything. And so when I started to realize that it was getting bad, I tried to get help, but, like, it was so bad. I'll get to that in a minute. So back then, I used to talk to people online who dealt with anxiety and depression, mainly people who dealt with depression. And they will always tell me there was no such thing as getting better. You just have to learn to live with it, and I just didn't believe in that. I know there's a cure for everything. That's just my belief. Somebody else can argue and say, no, they don't believe that. But that's fine, because that's what you believe in. But what I believe in, there's a cure for everything. I refuse to believe that I was stuck feeling that way for the rest of my life. No. And it lasted for a long time. I mean, a long time. So I just kind of went with what they told me. That I just truly believed there was no point of trying. As I've talked to many people who had dealt with depression for years, like 30, 40 years. And so it's like, well, if they say there's no cure, there's no cure. So I left it alone for a very long time. But then, believing in that, I ended up trying to harm myself at the end of it. So the first thing me and my mom did, we went to my doctor, and I told my doctor what was going on with me, and he told me to make friends. I'm telling you, life means nothing to me. My life means nothing to me. He told me to make friends. That ish was scary. Because all the people I told, I was trying to get help. I wasn't silent about it at all. You know, some people, they leave this world because they have told people, I need help. And these people are actively not taking it seriously. And I think for a lot of people that I told, the reason why they weren't taking it as seriously is because I come off extremely happy. I was always naturally bubbly. And so people just assume I'm always happy 24/7. I've had people tell me they don't check on me because I'm the strong one. I need to be checked on just like anybody else. I'm not here for you to dump all your problems on me and for you to use me as advice and then not speak to me later on. I can't tell you how many times I've had people come to me for advice, but when I needed help, those people did not show up. It's weird to me how nonchalant and careless people can be about mental health. They only seem to care when you hurt yourself. And by that time, that person gone. And it's so surprising because especially those who are supposed to care and help you. Like, as my doctor, as my parent. I mean, my mom was there. But not just speaking for me, but for other people who don't have their parents, family, or anything like that. And you're trying to seek help. You are supposed to do this. You're supposed to help. And seeing as my doctor didn't help, I turned to church. I've always been into church since I popped out the womb, okay? God has been in my life all my life. I have not had a time in my life where God wasn't the center of it at all. But I related through God. Okay, how can I put this? I related to God through my mom because she's the one who introduced him to us. When I say young age, I mean young age. Like, we was 3 years old learning Christian songs, okay? We were younger than that learning Christian songs, but what I'm saying is that's all I had. So I'm like, well, my doctor didn't help. I'm going to get some help some type of way. So I turned to church. It was a nice change. I didn't immediately feel great. And I tried to take my doctor's advice because it's like, look, I guess I should probably listen. So I tried to take his advice on making friends. Because, like, okay, well, I don't know anything about depression. He's my doctor, so maybe he could be on to something. By the way, no. I tried making friends, but that was a fail at this particular church because they had cliques. And what I mean by cliques, you know what I'm talking about. If you ever been in church, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Shoot, you've ever been to high school, you ever been to school, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But at this particular church is what I mean with the cliquiness is that people will go up for prayer, needing actual help. So they're coming to you because these people have exhausted a lot of options in their life. And they're saying, I need help, I need prayer. And so they will come up for prayer. And the intercessors, if you don't know what intercessors are, they're people who pray on your behalf. They pray for you. The intercessors will take not all the intercessors, by the way, some of them. They will take what people came up for prayer and use it to fuel their gossip circle, their cliques. Somebody came up to you about something that's going on in your life and you used it to talk crap about them behind their back. My mom was always like, walk in love, sis. I'm trying, but they tested me. They tested me. We should have left that church immediately when we started seeing that stuff. But if you believe in God, you know how, this is only for people who believe in God, but if you believe in God, you know how the devil, operates. He didn't want us getting close to God in the first place. And so sometimes situations will come up that make you leave a certain place. Because, why would the devil want you to get close to God? So we stayed. However, the lies were so intense. Like, my brother was the first one to stop going. He realized that early on, like, the lies, my brother was just like, He just stopped going. And for a long time, I stopped going too. But then I started going back, and I really, really to this day wish I would have never returned. I really wish I would have never returned. But like I said, the lies were so intense that my family and I had to make the decision to leave permanently. It was best for me and my mental health at the end of the day. Not just me, but it was best for my little sister's mental health. Like, when I say the lies were intense, they were intense. These people was putting so much stress on it. Okay, anyways, it was best for me and my family. And like, one day I will tell you all the things that led to our departure. Like, when I say it was bad, it was bad. But since this ain't about that, I'll tell y'all another time. The crazy thing is, leaving church made my relationship with God so much more stronger. And I used to think, because, we're constantly told, go to church, go to church, go to church. I was literally seeking God's face, and learning about Him is what helped me. It wasn't a building, I know the church is us, but going to a building sometimes with the people that are there, they're not there for the same reasons that you're there. You're truly there to get help. Those people are there because they enjoy talking crap about people. That's why they're there. I truly never want to judge somebody and say, oh, that's the only reason why you go to church. But sadly, from that particular situation, that's all I was seeing. These older women in church, even, just sitting around and gossiping. It's like, you're too old for this. And half the time it wasn't even the teenagers. It was just simply the adults. It's like, ooh. I don't even have anything to say. I'm just making noises and sounds. So, leaving church made me closer to God. Because I got to really have a relationship with Him outside of everybody else's perspective. And got to know who He was truly. And my relationship with Him is amazing. And after leaving church, I left social media as well. So I stopped using Facebook, which, by the way, I never truly use Facebook. I usually use Facebook for easy logins, like my games and stuff like that. Like my games on my phone. Yeah, I hate Facebook. So I stopped using Instagram, Snapchat. I deleted my Tumblr and my Twitter. And I had Tumblr when Tumblr was fun. Like, I had my Twitter from the time I was 17. So like that was like back in 2007. Oop, did I just give away my age? I don't care if y'all know my age. Okay, so from 2007 until about 2015 or something like that. I forget. I got rid of my Twitter. I got rid of my Tumblr. Back when Tumblr was fun. Because when Tumblr first came out, Tumblr was real fun. And then it got creepy. It got real creepy. I pretty much just stopped using my phone. And I know that that's hard for so many people because it's a great distraction from life. I mean, it really is. Like, especially if you're in a situation where you're uncomfortable and stuff like that. First thing I want to do is get on my phone. Like, I want to play a game or look at some YouTube and see what somebody else is up to. But it was worth it. Giving up my phone, giving up social media, it was worth it in the end. I started being more grateful. Even when I didn't feel good, I felt like crap, I still found things to be grateful for. Because there's so many, I mean, it doesn't invalidate my issues and struggles, but if you just keep in mind that some people have it 10 times worse than you do, and they're praying just as hard to get out those situations, to sometimes be in the same position that you're currently in, it actually helps. Even though somebody's probably listening to this and be like, oh, you don't want my situation. You're probably right. But it definitely is something that helped me to realize that being grateful gave me a better outlook on things. Like, grateful for, even if it's super small, electricity. I'm grateful for having a house. I'm grateful for having food. I'm grateful for having health care. Stuff like that. I have to find reasons to bring myself back to life, because depression is a thief. It just takes everything. So for me, it'd be like, you know how they say you name five things that you're grateful for a day or something like that. I did it as many times throughout the day as I needed. I exhausted everything I could because my life was worth it to me. It is worth it to me. Even like when I felt ugly, I compliment myself. Period. I look good. Okay? You look good. You're beautiful. Forget what everybody else say. I look good. I decided that feeding my mind with love instead of hate, and all the I can't do this because anxiety, I don't want to do this because of depression, I gave her love instead. And that was my problem with social media, because you're constantly taking in other people's lives. For some people, that's all day long. We're constantly told not to compare ourselves, but that's harder. That's easier said than done. So it's hard because with the amount of different social medias, we're comparing ourselves even when we're not doing so on purpose. Like, if you really think about it, like, how often are you scrolling online and subconsciously you start comparing yourself? Like, go ahead and count. You'll be quite surprised. Like, there's times where I will be on social media and not realize that later on throughout that day, I would be thinking about the image that I saw earlier that day. Or see myself and then find out, it's like, oh, why can't I do this? Or, like, my hair would be just fine, but I will go and change my hairstyle because I saw someone else with a hairstyle. Which other people's like, no, that's just inspiration. But when you do it so often, it's not. You start to compare yourself subconsciously. So I say, give yourself a break from social media. It definitely helped me. I have not dealt with depression and anxiety in a long time. Well, I wouldn't say anxiety, but, I would say anxiety because I haven't had a panic attack because of it. So I still get anxious, especially when I have to go outside. Like, I haven't dealt with that in, 3 years? Like I said, I still get anxious to go outside, but that's pretty much it. I have so many other stories, especially concerning people not knowing who you are, knowing where you're going, knowing where God is taking you. Like, having faith in God is a crazy thing. People will legit think you're crazy. And the thing is about having faith in God, you look ridiculous. You do look crazy because God will have you do some crazy things. It's just stepping out on faith. I don't care that you think I should be this or that, or I should go to school for this or that. That's not where God has me going at the moment. And so it's important to not speak negativity or doubt into someone's mind. Always be encouraging even if you don't agree. If somebody tell you they want to become a singer and you know they can't hold a note, be encouraging. There's a way to break things to people without killing their spirit. Give yourself a break from social media. Love on yourself a lot more. And I know that it's harder to do, but you have to start at home first. And I'm talking about the inside home. Love on you more than you could ever love. And know that you are loved, and God truly, and I mean truly, loves you. Even during the times you don't feel like He's listening, He is 100% there. And that is all I want to talk about today, guys. Bye.